All right, let's move on to quiz 3. We're going to talk about the electronics. Volts measure the potential force which electrons are pushed through a circuit. We're going to compare that to watts in just a minute, but I'm sure we've used volts for 9-volt batteries, those sorts of things, and yes, so that's the potential force. It is true that an electronic circuit starts and ends at the same place. You've got to complete that circuit in order for the electrons to do what they need to do. A watt is used to measure that electrical power, but not the potential. That's where we might have like a 50-watt amplifier and 9 volts going through it. Okay. Resistance and impedance are measured in ohms. So the amount of opposition to the electrons moving and doing what they need to do. All right, we're going to measure that in ohms, and it depends on what type of system it's in as to what word we're going to use and why. It is also true that the load is the impedance in ohms that a circuit has to drive. So the amount of work that needs to be done, that's the load. And I guess we've talked a lot about electrons flowing. What that is a current. The current is the flow of electrons going from one place to another, hopefully doing something more than just moving. Often they will be going through a printed circuit board or PCB, that green thing I used to call all of them the motherboard, but there's a difference between different boards. Okay, in alternating current, the resistance or the opposition that we were talking about before, I'm going to use the word impedance. So like guitars, as we are plugging those in, they will often talk about high impedance and low impedance. Opposition in DC, we're going to call resistance. So if it's direct current, then resistance. Alternating current, impedance. As usual, there's more to be said about that, and possibly we went into that in class, but let's leave it at that for the quiz and for the review. All right, capacity. The power capacity is the maximum amount of power a circuit can handle without burning out. Yeah, and there's a sort of an upper limit and a lower limit, depending on the resistance and everything involved in Ohm's law. And I think we're going to get to that soon. All right, but for now, that's going to do it. So thank you very much. I hope that was helpful. And remember, like the kangaroo said, at these prices, I'm not surprised.